What if the answer to building a championship rotation isn't found in the free agent market, but in the places where other teams have already given up? That's the question the Toronto Blue Jays are asking themselves this Friday afternoon, January 23rd, 2026. And the answer, according to the latest reports, reveals a front office operating on two completely different wavelengths simultaneously. On one end, they're mining for forgotten talent in independent leagues. On the other end, they're exploring the possibility of acquiring a legitimate ace. It's the definition of organizational ambition meeting organizational pragmatism. Let me start with the move that flew completely under the radar. The Toronto Blue Jays signed left-handed pitcher Brendan Cellucci to a minor league deal. And if you've never heard of him, don't feel bad. Most people haven't. Cellucci is 27 years old. He was a prospect in the Boston Red Sox organization who seemed to have lost his way. Last season, pitching in the minor leagues at AA and AAA, he posted an ERA of 7.28. That's not just bad. That's the kind of number that gets you released and forgotten about. Boston gave up on him. They moved on. They decided he wasn't worth the investment of time and resources. And that's when the Blue Jays came calling. Now, on the surface, this looks like a desperate move. This looks like a front office grasping at straws. But if you dig deeper, if you look at what Cellucci actually did after Boston released him, you start to understand why Ross Atkins and the Blue Jays scouting department saw something worth pursuing. Cellucci went to the Atlantic League, an independent league, and pitched for the York Revolution. And something clicked. In 18 games, he posted an ERA of 1.96. 1.96. That's elite. His whip was 0.82. Those are the kinds of numbers that get you noticed. But here's what really makes this signing intriguing. Cellucci is what we call a strikeout artist. Throughout his minor league career, he's maintained a strikeout rate of over 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. 12.16, to be exact. He's got a fastball that touches 95 miles per hour. He's got a slider that makes hitters look foolish. He's accumulated 350 strikeouts over 259 innings. That's elite stuff. That's the kind of arsenal that can dominate hitters. So why was he available for free? Why didn't other organizations jump on this guy? The answer is simple. Control. Cellucci is the embodiment of the character Wild Thing. He walks a lot of hitters. According to scout reports, he's hot and cold. Some days he destroys opposing offenses. Other days he can't find the strike zone with a GPS. His command is inconsistent. His mechanics are unreliable. He's a project. He's a gamble. For the Blue Jays, it's a low-risk, high-reward bet. If the pitching lab, which has become legendary for its ability to develop arms and fix mechanics, can work with Cellucci, if they can smooth out his delivery and reduce his walk rate, Toronto just acquired an elite left-handed reliever for the bullpen without spending a dime. That's the kind of move that wins championships. That's the kind of move that separates organizations that know how to develop talent from organizations that just spend money. But here's where the story gets really interesting. While the Blue Jays are signing projects from independent leagues, insider Ken Rosenthal just dropped the bombshell on his show Fair Territory. According to him, the Blue Jays are still exploring things in relation to Framber Valdez. Framber Valdez, the elite left-handed ace, the former Houston Astros pitcher, the guy who's supposed to be one of the best pitchers in baseball. Now, this raises a massive logistical question. Toronto already has Kevin Gausman. They already have Dylan Cease. They brought Shane Bieber back. They signed Cody Ponce from Asia. They have Trey Yesovich knocking on the door. and they have the multi-million-dollar contract of Jose Berrios. That's 6, maybe 7 legitimate starters. Why in the world would they be chasing Framber Valdez? The answer might lie in what we discussed yesterday. Jose Berrios as a trade chip. If Rosenthal is correct and Toronto is serious about Valdez, it means Berrios' days in Canada might be numbered. The front office could be thinking about trading Berrios for that impact bat that was missing from free agency, someone like Brendan Donovan or maybe someone even bigger, and replacing a spot in the rotation with Valdez. That would make sense. That would solve multiple problems at once. You get rid of the expensive, underperforming starter. You acquire the position player you need, and you upgrade your A situation. Or, from a more pessimistic angle, this could be life insurance against Shane Bieber's health. Bieber agreed to come back, but we all know his elbow history. Valdez is a workhorse. He eats innings. He's durable. He's reliable. Having him as a backup plan, as a safety net in case Bieber breaks down, might be exactly what this organization needs. What's fascinating about watching Ross Atkins operate is the duality of his approach. One day he's scrounging for loose change on the ground, hoping to find gold in the form of Brendan Cellucci from the Atlantic League. The next day, he's walking into a luxury dealership looking at the price tag on a Ferrari, even though his garage is already full. He's operating on multiple levels simultaneously. He's building depth through projects and minor league signings. He's also exploring the possibility of acquiring legitimate star power. What becomes clear is that the Blue Jays rotation is still not finalized. Cellucci arrives to compete for a bullpen spot in spring training. Valdez remains a dream acquisition that would force a complete reorganization of the roster. This is organizational chess at its finest. This is a front office that's not satisfied with what they have, but they're also not going to sit around waiting for perfection. They're going to keep exploring. They're going to keep looking for angles. They're going to keep trying to find ways to improve. Stay locked in, because if Cellucci learns to control the strike zone, remember this name. This could be a guy who becomes a crucial piece of the bullpen. And if Valdez signs, prepare yourself for a major roster move. Someone big is going to have to go. The winter in Toronto is far from over, and the moves being made right now, both the flashy ones and the quiet ones, are going to find whether this team competes or collapses in 2026. If you think the Blue Jays are making the right moves by exploring both independent league talent and legitimate ace acquisitions, smash that like button and drop a comment below. Do you believe Brendan Cellucci can develop into an elite reliever? And do you think Framber Valdez is a realistic target for Toronto? Let me know what you think in the comments. This is a kind of organizational strategy that defines a franchise's future, and I want to hear your perspective on it.